bring the meeting to order. Can we have roll call, please?
Ms. Dana Gamblin.
Present.
Mr. Gary Gondelsberger. Here. Mr. Walt Matthews. Ms. Allison Will.
Here.
Ms. Sharon Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Don Sharrock.
Here.
Ms. Janice Warner.
Here.
Just had roll call. It's called to be to order, so we have the minutes from our last meeting. Has everybody had a chance to look at those minutes? And can we get an approval for the minutes? Unless you have questions. Yes.
I don't know if we should approve these, we just got them. How can we read all, there's about 17 pages of these minutes here. Can we table this until next meeting?
How does everybody else feel about that?
I'll make a motion to approve them. If I don't get a second, then we'll table it, I guess.
I'll just make comment. Did you receive the minutes online?
I just got these.
Okay.
You just
but
gave them to
those-
me.
Did you receive them through email? We sent everybody a copy digitally through the email.
Yes.
Okay, I remember receiving something. So if you sent the minutes with that, I saw the agenda, but if you sent the minutes, that's my negligence, I guess. So if you want to pass it.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved, properly second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
I do, because I didn't read it.
Okay. Before we start old business and swearing in, I'd like to take a second and can we just take a vote on how to receive the minutes going forward in the future? So if anyone wants to have the digital minutes, say something. For those who want to receive the hard copy to be delivered, this is the time to say it.
Dana, can you speak up, please? Bring that microphone closer to you.
My voice just carries, I hate that.
You're light-spoken.
I'm only trying to be light-spoken, trust me. No, what I was saying is, before we continue on, we're going to discuss, how do you want to receive your minutes? Do you want to receive them digitally, or do you want to receive them hard copies as we used to? This is where you would need to speak up now and say, how do you want to receive your minutes?
Digital.
I have a question. Do you mean for the whole packet or just the minutes?
The whole packet.
We would send you the whole packet through
Yes.
email versus
And that would
printing off a
eliminate
copy.
you coming to the, I'm for digital.
Me too.
Okay, not me. I want to have mine delivered.
I would prefer to have a hard copy.
Hard copy.
Hard copy.
Got it. And I will stop by and talk to Walt
Okay,
at a later date.
that'll be fine. Thank you.
No problem.
Is that what we're going to get then, hard copy, hand-delivered again?
You'll continue to receive a hard copy just like you have in the past, but we're giving you the option to receive it digitally. Okay?
But I just wanted to get that out the way and get it clarified. So whatever you tell them is how they're going to deliver them to you.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll proceed now with the swearing in of witnesses that are going to give testimony.
Okay. All those wishing to give testimony, please raise your right hand. Are you willing to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you? If you do, say aye.
We'll start with old business.
All right, first up, case number 2021-06. We're reviewing the variance granted to Charles Krasner. He's appealing the demo of 520 East Jefferson, parcel number 56-0055.000. And he is not here.
He's not here?
Who's that? Was that?
No, sir. Charles Krasner.
Oh,
Okay. Since he is not here,
So you have the inspector here and you have the chief building official.
I'd like to hear from the chief building inspector?
Chief building official?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went out there today and looked at it. It is above 50% still. They have made some progress on it. They put all new windows in it. And they did some painting, and it looks like they put a new staircase in. Go back and see mostly from the outside looking in, so couldn't walk through it or nothing, it wasn't open when the work being done or anything like that. But they have made progress. It's still pretty rough looking on the outside. I told them, I said, they said what they needed to do to get above 50%, and I said, well, I tell you what, if you sided this place, it would get you where you need to be. You know, you put the combination of the windows, door replacement, and new siding job on it. I said, that gets you where you need to be. So, but I told his girlfriend, I believe it was, and I also told her contractor that Chuck wasn't around.
Did they give you any indication, is that what they're planning on doing?
I haven't heard anything back on what their plans are, anything like that, no.
When was the last inspection? You made an inspection today, but when was your previous one?
The last time I went out there and walked through was in July.
July. So there's progress since July, is what you're saying?
Yeah. July 26th was the last time I was on site, in interior.
Why isn't he here tonight? Is there a reason?
We did not receive any notification that he would not be here, so we expected him.
But you invited him to be here, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Hi, I'm Ron, Code Compliance. Yeah, he was coming back to petition the board to get an extension on that timeline, if the board recalls. They were here I believe, 2 sessions ago, where I presented photos and showed a lot of the updates, the raised ceiling in the kitchen, things of this nature, a lot of drywall work. They turned around and we hadn't extended them all the way out through their full year that had been established upon their initial filing to postpone the demolition. There was conversation among the board members to have him come back and ask for that extension, feeling that he would be able to fulfill those obligations, but yet he didn't show tonight, so.
Okay, one comment I'd like to make. From the minutes of June 28th, 2022, we had indicated as a board that they were given a year. That's why we were meeting again in September to revisit this. Plus, we had extended 6 months beyond September of 2022. So technically, they have an extension existing at this point. Now, it would have, I think it would have been better had someone been here to at least discuss what they're planning to do. But you're indicating that they've done windows and other things to make improvements. I think that we're bound by the allowing the 6 months to continue to give them an opportunity to work further on the project before we take any other action. Our minutes state that.
Okay. Any other comments?
Yeah, if you need a motion, then I would.
I have a question before we do this. So he's not here tonight. This doesn't look good. I'm not happy with that. Secondly, why hasn't somebody been in touch with him to go inside? I mean, you wait until today to do an inspection instead of, asking maybe a week before the meeting if you could go in there and take a look inside. We don't know what the inside looks like. And he's not here tonight to give us a report. Did somebody from the city contact him since July? Or you said you had an outside inspection today, okay?
Went by the outside.
So
this meeting was coming
why
up,
hasn't-
and I was just there July 26th.
Okay, so why hasn't somebody contacted him so you could go inside and take a look? Ask him, I mean, we're giving him extension after extension, and you haven't been inside since July?
He has to call us to be able to go in. We can't just go in his property. So typically, they call us to arrange for us to come out. Otherwise, we're trespassing.
But can't you just pick up the phone and ask him, say, it's been a while, can we come in and take a look? Would you mind if we do an inside inspection?
Kind of tough to do that, like, we issue well over 1,000 permits a year, so a lot of permits going at all different stages to try and track down. I'm just saying, it's kind of a logistics thing. They don't have to call us, not our job to call them.
Okay.
Nobody goes beyond the call of duty. I don't know.
Now, we can't say that. I mean, the gentleman could have had an emergency. I mean, we gave him the extension until September, and apparently he is working on some of the things that he needs to be working on. So,
And frankly, there's a protocol to follow. Everyone who's involved in the inspection process is advised by the inspector that if you have issues, call us. You're responsible to call and make the appointment, make the arrangements. It doesn't work the other way for the inspector to do the calling. That doesn't work.
exactly.
It's up to the appellant to make that call and make the arrangements. But the only point I'm making is that we've already, on June 28th, we've already indicated to this gentleman that we were going to meet again in September, but our minutes clearly say that we had already given him an additional 6 months to continue working. Maybe he assumed that he didn't need to be here for that. I don't know. But he's not here. Mr. Tom is indicating that progress is being made. I hate to pull the plug on this project now when he's got this investment. Obviously, he's moving forward. I think we need to give him the benefit of the doubt in this case. And
Well, maybe you have a point, Gary, because you said we gave him 6 months, so maybe he thought, okay, I have 6 months and I'll get in contact with you. I don't know.
I don't
This
either.
assuming business is
Yeah.
not working.
Okay, so any other comments real quick?
I agree with Gary, and we'll give him till, I guess, December. June, 6 months is December, right?
Oh, I have no problem with that, but what I would like, if it is possible, if he can receive a letter from the appeals board to have him at least be present for October, that way there is no misunderstanding. And we will find out where we stand at this point with him. So, is that possible?
I'm going back through your minutes real quick. Because I don't see where a motion was made to extend him for 6 months. It was brought up to extend him 6 months after he came back in September to verify that progress had been made. But no motion was made during that meeting to give him the 6-month extension.
Okay,
So
my
that motion would have to be made tonight.
Then I will make that motion. Since the minutes reflect that we've discussed the September timeframe and adding 6 months onto his window of opportunity to get this project either done or moving along to the point that it's nearly done, I'm going to move that we allow the 6-month extension with the understanding that the city of Sandusky, the Housing Appeals Board, notifies the owner to appear at the next meeting, and he can present to us what his intentions are, whether he's going to move forward or not.
And the 6 months is based upon 28 October or 27 September? I'm sorry, 28 June or 27?
It's based on 6 months from today.
From today.
Right.
I would go along with that. I don't want to wait until 6 months goes down the line and we're sitting here doing
We're
nothing
not.
again.
We're going to
okay?
have him at the next meeting.
We're going to send out a letter, so there is no assumption.
Yeah, there needs to be a second to the motion before we
Okay.
question.
I'll second it. I'll
Okay,
second
It's
that.
been moved and properly second. All in favor
No,
signify.
now you can discuss. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, can we take a vote?
Chairperson Dana Gamblin.
Yes.
Chairperson Gary Gundelsberger.
Yes.
Chairperson Allison Will.
Yes.
Chairperson Sharon Johnson.
Yes.
Chairperson Don Sharrock.
Yes.
Chairperson Janice Warner,
Yes.
And then when you send a letter to him, when you send our packet for October, will you send us a copy of that, the letter itself, so we see that we sent him out the letter, so there's no miscommunication or anything?
Okay, so you're giving him a 6-month extension, but you would like to see him back?
We're gonna see him in
Absolutely.
October to see what's going on. I mean, like I said, Mr. Tom has, said that he is working on getting things done, so we would just need to hear from him what's going on.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
old business, case number 202208. Linda Johnson is appealing the demolition of 402 Henry Street, Sandusky, Ohio, 44870, parcel number 57-0067-000.
Hi, my name's Devon Harvey.
So I think the last time that you were here, you were bringing us a complete paperwork of what the intentions were, how much you're spending, and so forth.
In that paperwork that you guys are reviewing, there's some things that are withheld back due to concerns that we had. The estimates, we didn't have anybody come out and do estimates because there's a placard on the door that says authorized personnel, and we were never clarified if we're even allowed to be in there because of the fire damage. So we didn't want to have nobody come in there and be liable for injuries or anything like that. So we have started the clean out, but that's as far as we did on that aspect until we can get a go-ahead from who we need to see if we're allowed in there. Because on that demolition placard, it says authorized personnel, and if not, they'll be arrested for anybody that's on site. So who that authorized personnel is, we don't know. So that's not in that set of papers that you guys are going over. That's strictly the liens, the property taxes, and the financial record that you guys were asking for.
Well, I have a question. So, I get it that the placard said, unauthorized or authorized people, but did anybody just call the city to see what that meant? I mean, because actually, that's why I said we were giving you time so you could have all of that in place, so we don't have to keep revisiting the same thing over and over again.
No, I tried to call, sorry, Ron. I didn't reach his, at his number, so I left a voicemail, and then, he also tried to reach me back, and I've been busy, so we didn't get to speak on the phone about that situation. And then my grandmother had spoke to him today, but that hasn't been addressed. We were gonna address it here. But as of the contractors coming in and giving us estimates, we wanted to hold off because we don't want to get nobody in trouble, or we don't want to be in trouble either. I took it upon myself as voluntary hours to go in and clean it out up to the point where the fire started, because I feel like that's where it's a little unsafe. So I stopped there. As the outside, I took siding stuff down, and I don't have none of the pictures. I did go through and take pictures today, but I didn't have time to get to Walmart to you guys of the inside and the outside of where we're at. We have a dumpster out back. So that's where we're at with that property and that situation. Hoping to present what we do have to you guys and see if we could get an extension for one more month to have the contractors come in, if that's, a situation where everybody's allowed to be in that house, to get those estimates to see if it's, worth it to her, to you guys, to, even move forward from there.
Any questions?
When did you contact the inspector?
I would believe probably about a week after we came to the last meeting.
You left a voicemail?
Yeah, I did leave a voicemail. I I could check my phone for the date, but I know it was around a week and a half after the meeting, when we left the meeting, the last meeting. And then I called back that following, probably a week after that too, and get in contact again. Like I said, he also tried to reach me back, but I wasn't available to answer my phone at that time, so we didn't get to speak on the phone.
You leave him a contact phone number?
Yes, yeah. That's how he called me back, because I got his number from the last meeting.
Do you have contractors identified to come in and take a look at this?
As soon as we understand if we're allowed to have people in there, Moiser's gonna come out, because the big thing for us was cleaning out, getting, rusty nails, all that type of stuff out, so nobody gets hurt. So as soon as that, we have the go-ahead, Moiser's gonna come out, and then we have Camp Street Roofing. They're gonna handle the demo of the porch. Moiser's gonna handle the demo of the porch, and then Camp Street Constructions is gonna handle the roofing and the reconstruction of that facial wall that's behind the porch where, severely damaged, to seal the house up. And then from there, we're gonna have plumbers come in, HVAC and all that, and just go in. We wanna also have city come out and see, what else we need to go from there. So, because we know it's gonna be electrical, plumbing, heating.
So you're going to act as a general contractor?
Pretty much project manager. My grandmother doesn't have anybody that's step in charge with her situations with the houses that she owns, so I have. We recently sold 2 of her houses that she had. So, yeah, I'll be the one overseeing, making sure that everybody's licensed, the bonding coming through, getting the estimates, all that legalities out, and then present it to her and present it to you guys as well.
So do you feel confident that if the board decides to give you a 30-day extension, you'll be able to have good?
I'll be able to
You'll have good bids by the next
rest
meeting?
of what you guys requested from the first meeting, which is the estimates that were lacking. Basically, her decision if she wants to do with it, because that's a big question too. She's got to understand, the estimates that they're coming in, what they're going to be, and if she's comfortable doing it. Now, financially aspect, she has one property that's still getting closed on right now, so she's still having more income coming, but we were kind of on the spur of the moment going to the bank this morning because the transit system picked up at 1:45, and the meeting didn't start till 4, so we still thought we had a little bit more time to go to the bank, so they could get all the paperwork that we needed, or that we requested. So everything else, if we got one more month, we would be able to present at the next meeting. Estimates, the line of credit statement, because she already contacted Vacation Land and Vista on getting those. So they're working on putting those paperwork together.
Excuse me.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you done?
Sure.
Okay. There's back taxes,
No more.
sewer and water. She owes sewer and water, last time I checked, unless you just paid that in the last few days.
Yeah, it's in the packet that you
And you
have.
have some liens. Now, where do you stand on all of that?
If you review your packets, it's all.
You want to tell me verbally?
Oh, yeah, verbally.
We just got this, I'm sorry,
Okay,
we're at
no,
a
it's fine. It's fine. I'm
disadvantage.
just, all of these are taken off, so Vista lien's taken off, the Jefferson. She went down and paid her property taxes, so she's not in delinquent in her taxes no more. She don't owe until next February of 2023. So what she owed is paid.
The water and sewer's paid off too?
She just wrote a check today, and
So-
that's not in the, we just stopped over there and wrote a check over to the water. So she's caught up on everything that she owed on that property.
So she's out of debt with that?
Yeah,
type
and
of-
that house is paid off for, too.
Okay,
So there's no more liens, no more back taxes
Okay.
attached to that house.
Any more questions?
so if we give him 30 days extension, what are we asking for? I don't know if we should if we're going to, in the 30 days, maybe I would feel comfortable, if we went ahead with this in 30 days, I would feel comfortable if we did this variance thing where we send it to the city and they monitor and make sure before he starts, they've got all their paperwork together. You know, I'm not just, I don't want to babysit this thing. We've had some bad experiences with that, so.
No, that's fine. I mean, what we requested was basically a detailed statement of everything. Of what the property is worth, what it's gonna cost to repair, who the contractor, so, and what he is saying is that if he has another 30 days, they will get that. So that would be up to us to decide, are we gonna allow for the 30 days?
I would make that motion to allow him 30 days to get the information that we requested last month.
Before we
Well, there's a motion.
get a
Second or
second on
didn't-
this,
yeah.
is there something in your documentation that demonstrates financial ability? Because I don't see it in.
So that's one of the documents that I need 30 days to prepare on getting the rest because, like I said, she had an appointment today for vacation land, and we barely made it to that, and then got dropped off down here around 2 o'clock because Sandusky Transit is the only wheelchair accessible rides in town. So they didn't have enough time to get those papers together because it's at 2 different banks that she goes through, which is Vista and Vacation Land. So, but they're working on them documents. Like, I will be picking them up in the next day or 2. And as of like the contractors, I know you guys have asked for all these things, and a month to get it together is a short amount of time, but we're trying, and I appreciate you guys working with us. But I just didn't feel comfortable letting anybody in that house and without knowing. Are we even allowed to be in there?
Okay, 2 things. I agree with Sharon, and I agree with the neighborhood. This has gone on way too long. That house sitting over there without anything happening to it. But I also bring up a comment that you had made, Ms. Will, about whether or not the time frame of collecting all the information at the last meeting was going to be sufficient in order to get all the information together. So I would offer the second to allow you time to gather everything that you need and present it next month.
Yes, sir.
But.
And I can tell you the time frame of what
I
she's
mean,
looking at,
everything,
too.
everything you need to have here, have it.
Okay.
Okay, it's been moved in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 No
I thought she
opposed?
did a roll.
Can we have a call, please?
Chairperson Dana Gamblin,
Yes.
Chairperson Gary Gundelsberger.
Yes.
Chairperson Allison Will,
Yes.
Chairperson Sharon Johnson,
Yes.
Chairperson Don Sharad,
Here, yes.
Chairperson Janice Warner.
Yes.
New business. Case number 2021-1788, Franz Kistler and Pamela Myers Kistler are appealing the demolition of an unattached garage at 1206 Milan Road, Sandusky, Ohio, 44870, parcel number 57-02475.000.
Good evening, I'm Ron with the Finance Office. The board recalls, back in February, February 22nd, 2022, Mr. Franz Kistler and Pamela A. Myers, a.k.a. Pamela Tinsley, appeared before the House Housing Appeals Board to appeal an administrative penalty denied the said penalty, and the penalty was enforced. At that meeting, Mr. Gundelsberger kind of alluded to the question further in regards to whether or not, because of the condition of this garage, is it going to be more beneficial to continue to penalize, right, if not done, or would this be more advantageous if we looked at possible demolition? So in May of this year, May 4th, prior to the said date, Mr. and Mrs. Kistler were granted the extensions due to the inclement weather. So we pushed them down the road a little bit, but no progress on the matter was made, nor were the Kistlers able to supply me with any estimates, proposals, and/or contracts to restore, rehab the garage. So agreeing with Mr. Gundelsberger, I didn't seem advantageous to continue to penalize the Kistlers, and the blighted properties still remain. A search warrant was secured through the Sandusky Municipal Court, Judge Eric O'Brien. So an inspection report, dangerous or unfit structures percentage could be obtained. Met with Officer Hill from the Sandusky Police Department, Mr. Scott Tom, the building official, at the Mile End Road address, and the warrant was executed or served. Assessment resulted in an 85.56% deterioration of the structure. You do have photos there in your packet that would go along this process, as well as photos taken just earlier today. I requested a lien search on the property. It had been requested again by Mr. Gundelsberger at the June meeting, June 28, 2022, for an update on the said property, which time it was explained that we, code compliance, would be moving forward on the demolition of the said property. Prior to mailing any notice and orders of demolition letters, the lien holders, it was learned that JP Morgan Mortgage Acquisition Corp. Assigned the said loan to Citibank as a trustee for CM LTI Assessed Trust. Information was gained through the Erie County Recorder's Office. This information was also used in the proper mailing addresses. This is the information that I just referred to as far as documentation found through the Erie County Recorder's Office, how the loan on the said property was moved from one loaning institution to another, to where we got to where we had responsible parties for letters. Subsequently, Citibank NA, as a trustee of CMLTI Asset Trust, granted transfer of the Citigroup Mortgage Loan Trust. This is going to be the letter that went to the Erie County Treasurer's Office. CMLTI Asset Trust. There was a question. I've gotten return mail back on all mail except for the certified letter for the CMLTI. This is nothing more than a tracking history, trying to figure out where that mail was delivered to at this point. This would be Citigroup Mortgage Loan Trust letter. This was a letter sent out to Pamela A. Myers, aka Pamela A. Kistler. Letter sent to Mr. Kistler, certified mail, or certificate of mail, showing mail was sent. And subsequently, the housing appeals form and receipt that they filed 8/20 of 2022 to come before the board and are appealing the demolition of the said garage. So. Before we go any further, I do apologize to the board. I think the second slide, their last name is misspelled.
Didn't we already initiate a demo on this, and they're appealing that? Is that correct?
Yes. We looked at, again, for no work up until the point that the time that it was written, the property was written up, there had been no work to it. I penalized the Kistlers for the lack of work or anything to be done on the blighted property. I penalized them. They came before the board. Mm-hmm. The board found in favor of the city and went ahead and had them be responsible for paying that penalty. But then we got into some bad weather. We got into, March, April, a lot of snow, rain, things of this nature. So they were given a reprieve, let's say, to put them out to a time when they would have better weather, let's say, to fix this property, and still nothing. So for me to set now and go, okay, let me penalize them $500 this time, right? And have them appeal it to come to the board, right? And then if they don't fix it, then we go to the third penalty phase, which would go up to $1,000. And let's say they appeal that, and it would come to the board. And on the third one, we'd end up in municipal court. So it made more, I guess, it was more reasonable to look at the demolition of the property rather than siphoning their wallets, I guess you would say, of these penalties, and then tying up the board's time with actually reviewing.
So we have to do this all over again?
Well,
I mean-
they're appealing the demolition. They're not appealing a penalty. It would really depend on the board's decision at this point of what action should go forward. If the board finds in favor of not tearing down the garage and allowing them to go further to have estimates made, financials, things of this nature, we still have a blighted property at 1206 Milan Road. And then if the work doesn't get done, we still have a blighted property that is offline. I mean, you can tell by the photo. So it's going to be the decision. If the board finds in favor of not tearing the garage down, then we'll go back to a timeline issue. We'll go back to estimates, things of this nature, which would go in line with what we already do.
Are there any liens on the property?
Those were,
He brought that up. Did the first penalty get paid?
yes, it did.
Let's add to the equation the fact that the Kisslers had indicated early on that they didn't have the financial ability to make the repairs to this garage. That is what was the basis to moving towards another outcome then. So I'm anxious to hear, what's changed.
Yeah. Well, I found, it took me a long time to find the right person that understood my position and that I wanted to preserve the garage. My nephew passed away a few years ago, put the roof on, it's still good. I know the north side of the garage looks like crap. The construction guy looked at it and he said he could fix it. And it took, JW Home Improvement right here in Sandusky, 419-271-0658, said he could do it. But right now he's backed up and he'll do it as soon as he can. I will get a second loan to pay for it. And I know it was in the category, around 13 grand, that's what he estimated it would talk. You're gonna replace the door, the garage door, the window, the side door, replace all the wood that needs to be replaced and side it. And then balance it. Make sure it's level. It's a 100-year-old garage, it's an old garage, but it's sentimental for me, at least. And when you pull in the driveway, that's the first thing you see is the garage. And it's 45 years, we've been there for 45 years, paying taxes and mortgage. It seems like, I was the only income in the family, and I drove back and forth from Toledo every day for 25 years, and other places before that. But anyhow, I really would truly like to give it a second chance so I can show you. I would be proud to come back and show you when it's completed. Because I know what he can do, and he does quality work. And to have all the wood replaced that's necessary, and the siding put on there, it will look wonderful, and just like new. And it's an old garage. Yeah, I know it's easy to demolish. It's still, you're paying a lot of money. All the stuff that's in there accumulated over 45 years, lots of tools, mowers, stuff like that. You got nowhere to put them. The shed isn't going to be ample room for all this stuff. I really, really appreciate it. You give me a second, third chance.
Well,
me and my wife are both retired on a fixed income. I realize that, but we can work it out. We can work it out.
you've had a lot of opportunity to work it out. You see, we're to this point.
I know.
Where you've had months
Yeah, I know.
months and
But
months
it
to
was
work
so
this
hard to
out.
find. We went through the, we tried for months and months to get the Amish to cooperate. I couldn't even get a response. And then when they finally did, they said, well, we don't do any repair work. Well, that's basically what I wanted, to come out and, I didn't want them tearing it down, because then you gotta start from scratch, and you gotta start all over again. Yeah, it's old, it's an older garage, but it, just right, for all your stuff. No.
Did you say it's going to cost you $13,000? Do you have a cost estimate on this?
Huh?
Did your contract, you said your contractor told you it was going to cost $13,000 to fix this garage up?
Well, that's, you know what, I've still got, that's what he estimated it would cost to replace all that stuff. But I have vinyl siding myself inside the garage that was extra from the house when I had that sided. And he could use that. And I've got some 2x4s and stuff like that can be used for, to help out on the costs.
So the $13,000 includes new siding or the siding you have in the garage?
Right.
New siding,
Yeah.
not the siding you have in the
Right,
garage?
exactly, yeah.
Do you have a cost estimate on that?
A what?
A cost estimate? Did your contractor give you a,
My wife sent, when she sent the appeal, she sent the estimate to the place there. And I have, this is the only thing I have this is from what it would cost to tear it down. This is what he estimated it would cost.
how much is that?
This would be over $4,000 just to tear it down. So you figure tearing it down, you gotta start building a new one. You can't build a new garage for $10,000. You can't build a new garage, not these days. Maybe in the old days you could, but no.
But see, the math doesn't make sense, because you're saying that it's gonna cost $13,000 as an estimate to repair it as it is. It'll cost you $4,000 to tear it down.
Yeah, over 4,000. And then you have nothing. You have to still buy something to replace that. And to replace that, you're gonna invest over $10,000 right there. So it equals out almost. I think you'd be far better.
No, that doesn't equal out, because like I said, it's gonna cost you $13,000.
Well, that's what he estimated. That's the gross, If I can he can use all my siding that I have in reserve.
But see, you don't know that. But I guess my question is, you said that you talked with a
Well,
company.
see, he wrote that estimate out before he understood that. I told him, I said, listen, they got, he had already written that out, what he estimated beforehand.
But see, again, the estimate, the finances to do the estimate, you would have been better off bringing that in today to show us that you made that type of step versus just saying that he said this, and then when you said
Yeah, we had the estimate.
But no,
He had it.
I'm talking, please, don't interrupt. But the only part I'm having problems with is when he said he'll get to it when he can. When can he? I mean, it could be December, it could be September of next year when he can. So that's not even giving you a good estimate, because he's saying when he can.
Well, I think he's pretty firm on what he, he's a friend, I know him, and he's a friend of the family, and he's not gonna rip me off.
I'm not saying about ripping off, it's just that, when people get that, you get a timeline and an estimation of
Yeah,
when. And you're saying when he can.
Well, I think, he's being realistic because of the situation he's right now. He's right now, he'd be here right now talking to you, but he had to come down with the COVID. And that's no lie. You can call him at that number, verify that. But I just talked to him a few days ago, and he's COVID, so he'd have been here. And he's a good guy, he does quality work. He's not gonna rip us off, he knows it's both, so. We're older people, we're on fixed income, we'll work it out,
Is his company registered with the city of Sandusky?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's right here on Hayes Avenue, and 8017 South Hayes Avenue. His number is 419-271-0658. His name's Joe Wright. WR. Yeah,
Today we need to decide, so
WRIGHT.
Sharon, go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we still stick with the demoing of this property on Mylan Road.
Okay, I have a, can I get a second?
Well, I prefer, I know you want to stick to that demo, but it would mean a lot to,
I'm very concerned because you are on a fixed income, and I don't want to see you get in over your head, sir.
hide that garage. It'd be out in the elements. I have nowhere to put it. You know, I can't afford a storage. You know, that's like throwing money out the door. I've done that before for other people, paid for their storage. And this would be so nice, so great, you know, to help a little person, little people that have been paying
You know, we
taxes
paid taxes
for 45 years.
like he lived in Toledo,
And
so we paid.
yeah, I paid
taxes
Toledo
for both
taxes and
cities.
Sandusky taxes
We had,
for
and then
25
we had
years.
to pay gas. I mean,
Yeah, I was paying over
we had a lot
$4
of
a gallon
setbacks.
when I retired.
Well, we still don't know about your finances here. I mean, it would,
I can-
maybe,
I can get a second loan, I can take care of that, that'll be taken care of.
you're saying that, but we don't have any proof. You didn't bring a letter of credit. You knew this was coming up. I would have went to the bank and said, can I get a letter of credit to show these people that I am sound, that, you know, we can do this $13,000 garage versus the $4,000 for demo?
Well, I get things in the mail all the time from these places saying, you know, I'm qualified, I got this much equity and stuff and I can borrow.
I'm having a problem with this garage being 85% gone,
I don't
okay?
think it's
85%. That's what our inspectors are saying.
Why would my
85%.
contractor say otherwise? If he looked at it and says 85% done, you know, take it down, he'd say.
And this has been like this for quite a while, okay?
Not that long.
You never took steps to do anything about, now, wait a minute, and you never took steps along the way to even paint it or replace a window or whatever, and now you've got money, $13,000 to put into this garage. That doesn't make a bit of sense.
No.
Okay, and
Because
we
I want
have
to know.
I still,
we have a
it stays.
motion, I need a second.
I'm going to offer the second.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 And I have a,
Chairperson Gamblin,
yes.
Chairperson Gundelsberger.
Yes.
Chairperson Will,
Yes.
Chairperson Johnson.
Who?
Thompson.
Oh, yes.
Chairperson Sharrah,
Here, yes.
Chairperson Warner.
Yes.
Okay.
Case number two,
The other one, I don't think is here.
right, so we're
I
done.
think he may be
Can I get,
back in the sweatshirt, maybe?
No, we're done.
is that
No.
another one?
We're done.
I think we have, oh, we don't have another?
Okay,
No.
can I get a meeting?
They called and said they would not be here.
Okay.
It's just a observer.
Oh,
Okay. All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Well, hey, can I have, I know you want to demolish my garage.
I don't want to demolish your
No, I
garage.
know, that's your blessing. Anyhow, I would, can I get who I want to tear down? I don't want the city involved.
That you'd have to discuss with the city, but first of all, we have a motion.
You know-
Are we second to adjourn?
I'll make a second.
Second, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned.
What's your rules?